Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to my weekly show called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker and trainer, and as a coach, I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking for today's non-listening audience, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. If your organization is having a conference and you need a keynote or breakout speaker, I would love to be a part. You can find me at debsofield.com. I've got a number of great books on the market. All you need to do is go to Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, and you'll see my book series, Encouragement for Your Life, Tough Love Memos to help you fight your battles and change the world, along with my book, Speak Without Fear, and my latest book, Perfecting Your Platform. All these are on Amazon. All you need to do is type in my name and they'll all show up. I've got a great theme today. It's a quote I've loved for years, and I wanted to share it because I think it's so important. Now, friend, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Let's try approving yourself and see what happens. I'm Deb Sofield. Stay with me. Let's get started with today's show. So I've entitled today's presentation, Try Approving Yourself. Let me tell you what happened. The other night, I was half-heartedly watching a thread of a conversation unfold on Facebook, and it reminded me of an odd habit that I'm seeing that so many people are doing these days, which is being unusually mean and harsh about themselves in a public setting, primarily for the sheer purpose to draw attention to themselves and have others heap undue praise on them to, in a sense, settle them down. They post sad comments, and then they eagerly await for their friends, and I put that in air quotes, to reply to the post, proving they have value, and that the sad sack person who posted isn't all that bad, that mean, that angry, that ugly, that chunky, that, you know the drill. Okay, I have to admit, I think it is a pretty darn weird self-esteem issue. But I'm also thinking it's born out of sheer loneliness that would cause someone to publicly draw such attention by saying mean and negative things and derogatory comments simply to garner the attention of others. And I'll credit Facebook with making this phenomena that I'm seeing more and more. And friend, it's not good. It's not healthy. And ultimately, I gotta think that the damage is greater than that half a second of self-esteem. Now listen, without a doubt, some people feel sad or lonely. We are such a single society, and what I mean by that is social media has created a cadre of marginal friends who, in a sense, fill the void of true friends and family, but only for a time. Then they go away, leaving the attention-seeking wanderer to be even more outrageous with their comments to elicit a desperate response. Okay, so I don't want to waste time today on those who play games to keep themselves in the center of attention. But I do want us to be aware that there are all types of personalities out there. We'll just have to be on guard to help those who really need and appreciate and want our assistance. So let's agree that tough love will not allow us to spend a minute more on those who, when you offer kind words of encouragement to help them, the more they like to shock you with their seemingly low value of themselves. Frankly, there are not enough hours in the day to straighten out those who play this game for control or who are always fishing for compliments. Those are odd habits of what I'm going to call emotionally draining people. You know, people like this. And although it's hard, I think sometimes we need to step away so their issues don't affect us. I mean, here's what we can do. We can recognize the behavior and walk away. And although we can care for them, we don't need to be lassoed into their rodeo because this slice of society is a sad, self-centered, emotional wreck of a person that really, without professional help, you and I, we probably can't change. Now, there is an opportunity for you and I to help those who are looking for a true friend or a colleague to help them see the light from the darkness they find themselves in. And I love the quote from Louise Hay that says, "Friend, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving yourself and see what happens." So today, I'd like to speak to those who really do struggle with finding the good about themselves. For those listening today, you know who you are. You're the ones who don't talk about your issues, but you sit silently. You don't engage when you could be part of the team. You're the one who prefers to be alone instead of being with a group. And you are the good folks who quietly go about your business, keeping your hurt wrapped tightly around yourself. You silently criticize yourself because you've not been taught to value your worth. Or maybe no one's shown you kindness in a long time. Or maybe you simply just don't fit in well, so you sit on the sidelines. I see you enough to know that you'll come if called. But occasionally you need a friend to notice you and then reach out and quietly and confidently help you. You are, without a doubt, a loyal friend for life if you'll allow others to reach out. Please know that there's a lot of good people who would love to help you get going again. Because you've become lost in your own pain of maybe divorce or death or broken relationships or job loss, a health issue. Friend, you've gotten a little confused, and that's understandable. But today, I'm just going to ask that you try approving yourself and see what happens. I think the quote for today is real for so many listening because you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. So today, just today, let's try approving yourself and see what happens. This simple quote gently asks for you to decide your future. Imagine, what would happen if you, just for today, you decided to speak words of affirmation to yourself to remind you that you're okay, that you feel good, you look nice today, you did well on a certain project. And friend, once you learn to approve yourself, wouldn't that make for, a better day, a happier and more present and fulfilled you, knowing that you are enough? Have to admit, I'm a fan of Dear Abby. She's gone. We can only read the past articles. But each New Year's Day, she would run a poem called Just for Today that she borrowed and adapted from the Al-Anon poem and slightly changed the words. I've edited it even more to fit with my thought for today as you decide your future. Here it goes. Just for today, I will live through this day only. I will not brood about yesterday or obsess about tomorrow. I will not set far-reaching goals or try to overcome all my problems at once. Just for today, I will be happy. I will not dwell on thoughts that depress me. If my mind fills with clouds, I will chase them away and fill it with sunshine. Just for today, I will accept what is. I will face reality. I will correct those things I can correct and accept those I cannot. Just for today, I will improve my mind. Just for today, I will make a conscious effort to be agreeable. I will be kind and courteous, and I'll not speak ill of others. I will improve my appearance, speak softly, and not interrupt when someone else is talking. Just for today, I will refrain from improving anybody but myself. Just for today, I will do something positive to improve my health. Just for today, I will gather the courage to do what is right and take responsibility for my own actions. Friend, will you take responsibility for your own actions? You have to commit to approving yourself so you can see what happens. You have to think long and hard about how you'll do things. Maybe do them differently. Because you can't go back to your old ways. That's a recipe for disaster. So starting today, I think it would be important that we make a list of what we can do to keep us in the right mindset for success. I'll tell you, the hardest thing you need to do is to commit to discipline, to do what you say you will do every day, and then do it every day, from getting up to making your bed to picking up the house, maybe exercising or praying for a few minutes to eating a healthy breakfast, to dressing your best and maintaining your personal hygiene. Because here's the truth, when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, it sets a place of peace in your soul that you can feel and others can see. Now listen, I don't like the idea of working on myself any more than the next person. But if I don't, and you don't, nothing will change. And the quote for today will not apply. Because you'll go back to criticizing yourself and you'll be right this time. Oh, friend, that would be heartbreaking. So friend, commit. Commit to approving yourself because you've done your part. You've committed to finishing the hard work. and then commit to see with a new vision your amazing future. You've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. How about we do something different? Try approving yourself and let's see what happens. Gotta admit, I love that. I think that is so true. Unfortunately, I see so many good people who are just hurt, and I'd love to see something change for the better for them. So friend, maybe we just try something different. Let's approve ourselves to see what the world could be. Mark Twain once said, a man or a woman cannot be comfortable without his own approval. While the signs may look different for each of us, there are things that we can do that can help us learn to approve of ourselves so we can go and help others. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Let's take a quick break, and I'm going to come back with some articles to maybe help you see the way forward. I've got a really good one from Tony Robbins and another one from Ashka Colton. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Hi friends, Deb Sofield here. I'm a national speaker and an executive speech and presentations coach. I've been in the battlefield of politics and business for over 30 years. I know and understand how the game works. In today's marketplace, you don't have a choice. We're in the media age of Twitter, blogs, Facebook, and 24-hour news cycles. Either you move quickly and decisively to define your product, your company, or yourself, or others will define you. You can't afford to miss the mark, because the public won't give you a second chance and the media is unforgiving, and YouTube will replay your remarks until you've been ground into dust. Whether it's crafting your message to protect you or your company, or putting you on camera to answer the questions that will resonate with reporters and the public, or preparing you for an interview, let me help you be successful. I'm Deb Sofield. Find me online at debsofield.com. That's debsofield.com. Hi all, thanks for staying with me. I came across an article from Ashka Colton, and I have edited it greatly, let me just tell you. But I thought she had some wonderful ideas that I wanted to share. So she says this, for me, taking care of myself is a practice. It's a practice of choosing myself, putting myself first when I can, and being kind and compassionate with myself. It's also about choosing things, people, and situations that are good for me, feel right, and are positive. Approving myself is an ongoing conscious choice. She says, when I started to practice consciously approving myself over others, over damaging situations, over unfulfilling friendships and relationships, things changed dramatically. So to illustrate why we should practice approving ourselves, she gives a few examples from her own life. She says this, once you start approving yourself, you will feel more in charge of your life. She said, I realized I had a choice. I could make poor choices out of fear and guilt and shame, or empowered choices that were aligned with who I was and what I felt was authentic to me. She said, I stopped trying to please people, accommodating those unworthy of my attention, and doing things that didn't bring me comfort or satisfaction. When you start approving yourself more, you will realize your needs are also important and that you have the choice to honor them. Her other point is this, you'll stop seeking approval from others. She said this was the most liberating thing she came across. As I approved myself and respected myself more, I stopped worrying about how much they liked me or approved of me. I stopped doing things to be, quote, liked. This created space for me to be more authentic, less defensive, and more my genuine self, and live a life that was aligned with my values. Approving yourself will give you the courage to get rid of things that don't serve you well, and make space for things that will help you grow. When you truly approve yourself, you make decisions that honor you rather than harm you. She goes on to say, you'll start to enjoy being with yourself. She said, I stopped filling my days with meetings, dates, outings, as I did in the past just so I wouldn't feel alone. I stopped running away from myself. Instead, I started doing more things I loved doing, swimming, writing, watching movies, saying a prayer. When I reconnected with myself deeply, spending time in my own company didn't feel scary anymore. I stopped being afraid of being alone. And you too will find that when you become more loving towards yourself, You'll start being more comfortable being in your own lovely company. How do you start approving yourself more? Well, there's things you can do. You can introduce a daily practice of checking in with yourself. Every time you need to make a decision or you have to make a choice, simply ask yourself, does this feel right? Is this good for me? Will it serve me? Will it make me feel energized? These questions will help you honor yourself and your needs and stay true to who you really are. Approving yourself, friends, will transform your life. So you really should start practicing today. As I mentioned, I had to edit that a good bit, but I do think she's got some great points there that we can all learn from. Someone else I really like is Tony Robbins. You know him, pretty famous, and he has an article called How to Fall in Love with Yourself. All right, so once again, I'm going to edit this because I want to use the idea of approving yourself as giving you what you need to put you in the right mindset for your success for the long haul. Our friend, when you are better, things get better, people get better, relationships get better because you have a different mindset. Remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. There is no one else like you. Out of the billions of people in the world, there's just one you. So we need for you to step it up and be your best self. All right, let me go to Tony Robbins. One of his core messages is this: the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And that includes your relationship with yourself. Learning how to fall in love with yourself is essential to your own happiness, to your success in relationships, and to the way you interact with the world. That's because what you put out into the world, our friend, you get back. When you fall in love with yourself, or I'm going to use the word approve yourself, you will naturally spread love into the world, improving the quality of your life and others. When you approve yourself, you receive more approval in return. When you exude confidence and joy, you'll attract others with the same zest for living. This improves the quality of your relationships, which improves your life. Our friend, the cycle is clear. It all starts with approving yourself. So you may say, but Deb and Tony, where does this approval come from and how you can build on it? Well, here we go. Number one, be kind to yourself. Okay, I know it seems simple, but for a lot of you listening today, this is going to be one of the hardest acts of approval for you to master. We grew up in a society that's always telling us how to look, how to live, even how to feel. So the first step is to give yourself permission to be you, humanly you. You don't have to be super mom, a fitness model, or a billionaire to be worthy of love and approval. Number two, some of you need to change your self-talk. Tony Robbins says belief has the power to create and the power to destroy. Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. See, the way you talk to yourself affects your mood and your behavior, and the negative inner thoughts become a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's okay to hold yourself to a high standard and to feel negative emotions occasionally. But friend, don't get stuck in a cycle of negativity. Catch yourself when you fall into negative self-talk and make the conscious effort to change the conversation. His next point is this: some of us, I'm going to include myself here, need to adjust our physical state. Our physical state, our posture, how we breathe, the movements we have is all the key to your emotional state. Hey, if you don't feel confident, adjust your body, straighten your spine, throw your shoulders back, raise your head high, smile. See, when you do those physical actions, they send signals to your brain that you are okay and that you're confident. And friend, when you feel confident, it's a lot easier to approve yourself. His next point is surround yourself with supportive people. It's true that your most important relationship is with yourself, but that doesn't mean allowing negativity into your life. Surround yourself with people who care about you and think the best of you. Use the cardinal rules of love to create healthy relationships that bring positivity to your life. And some who are listening, unfortunately, you need to let go of relationships that are not supportive and caring. And when you do that, believe it or not, you will find your whole life improves. I love his number 6. Don't lose yourself in relationships. We've all heard that we need to love and approve ourselves before we can truly love anyone else. When you don't love and approve yourself first, you'll tend to get lost in relationships. In fact, you may take on the qualities your partner wants you to have instead of staying true to yourself. Find yourself unable to set boundaries or become very needy and always needing to be around your friend or partner. That can work at first, but ultimately you'll end up driving most people away. Part of knowing how to love and approve yourself in a relationship is being able to identify and communicate your needs and having the confidence to fly solo every once in a while. It will only make your relationship stronger. Number 7 is adopt an abundance mindset. When you practice gratitude and adopt an abundance mindset in everything you do, you will naturally bubble over into falling in love and approving yourself. Find the good in every situation and stop reading too much into the negative. Friend, if you have a bad day, you might think, I always have bad days. But you need to neutralize that thought by thinking of all the good days you've had and all the fun you've had with friends and family. I love his number 8. Sometimes we just need to get off the grid. Taking the time to relax, recharge, or reconnect with yourself can help you discover how to approve yourself. I mean, think about this. If your brain is always on, you are living in a heightened, unsustainable state. Self-reflection can affirm our sense of ourselves and help us learn from our mistakes. The research on relaxation is clear. Giving your brain a break actually results in increased creativity, productivity, and a sharper memory. I like his next point. You need to practice self-care. Self-care and self-love are not the same thing, but they do go hand in hand. Our friend, when you love and approve yourself, you treat yourself kindly, emotionally and physically. You wouldn't want the person you love to live in a stressed state of mind or avoid doing things they love. So why do you allow yourself to do those things? You need to establish habits of self-care, like eating healthy and exercising to train your brain to think positively. One of the best things you can do is to build a life you love, so you love the life you have. I love his next point. You just need to have fun. Stress and negativity are enemies of self-approval. They can cause you to feel burnout and alone, and they won't leave room in your life to learn how to approve yourself. So that's why it's important you take the time to create joyful habits and do things that you love. Put on your favorite music, sing in the kitchen, play a game with your kids or grandkids. Immerse yourself in a good book. Go for a hike. Get out in nature. Give yourself a chance to get out of your own head. I love his next one. Do something you're good at. Hey, remember, you are talented and amazing. Do you play an instrument? Do you write short stories? Do you grow the best tomatoes in town? Do something you're good at, and it reinforces your confidence and shows you how to approve yourself by appreciating your own skills. And if you can share that with others, that's even better. You'll notice that others appreciate and enjoy your talents too. And I believe you will build your confidence even more. Probably the hardest thing you'll need to do is to push yourself. If we only do things we're good at, we'll never grow. It is crucial we get out of our comfort zone and push our boundaries. Whether we learn a new language or software, take a public speaking class, join a hiking group, you'll see that you're stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you thought possible. And you'll build new skills that can bring positivity to other areas of your life, your career, and relationships. I think so many of you would do well to take credit. Many people are naturally modest. Most of us aren't, but a few are. We're often team-oriented and we underplay our own accomplishments in the name of harmony. But taking credit can be good for your self-esteem and can help you improve yourself. Hey, if someone compliments you, simply say thank you and take it to heart. I love the next point. Find your purpose. It's the ultimate way to learn how to approve yourself. Purpose gives you a reason to get up in the morning and to make you a part of something larger than yourself. And it fulfills many of the human needs, including significance, growth, and contribution. But purpose rarely reaches out and knocks on our door. Friend, to find your purpose, you need to be honest with yourself. What are you excited about in life? What brings you joy? And once you uncover those things, I believe you'll stop criticizing and you'll learn to give back. And that's his final point. The secret to living is giving. Giving back is the ultimate purpose in life. It's also the secret to improving yourself. Friend, when you have a sense of purpose, you'll live confidently and stop looking for external affirmations. You know that you have worth because you have gifts, only that you have. And when you truly believe that you're here for a reason, approving yourself comes naturally. Find your purpose, light the fire of self-love and approval within you, and others will be attracted to the flames. I really like that from Tony Robbins. I think it fits right in with my theme today. Friend, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Today, just today, try approving yourself and let's see what happens. I'm Deb Sofield. You've been listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a good one, everybody.